A woman and a man are involved in a car accident. It's a bad one. Both of their cars are totally demolished, but amazingly, neither of them is hurt. After they crawl out of their cars, the woman says,
"So, you're a man. That's interesting. I'm a woman. Wow, just look at our cars. There's nothing left, but fortunately we are unhurt. This must be a sign from God that we should meet and be friends and live together in peace for the rest of our days."
Flattered, the man replied, "Oh yeah, I agree with you completely. This must be a sign from God." The woman continued,
"And look at this. Here's another miracle. My car is completely demolished, but this bottle of wine didn't break. Surely God wants us to drink this wine and celebrate our good fortune."
Then she hands the bottle to the man. The man nods his head in agreement, opens it, then drinks half the bottle and hands it back to the woman. The woman takes the bottle, immediately puts the cap back on, and hands it back to the man. The man asks, "Aren't you having any?" The woman replies,
"No. I think I'll just wait for the police."
4 Catholic men and a Catholic woman were having coffee near St. Peter's Square. The first Catholic man tells his friends, "My son is a priest. When he walks into a room, everyone calls him father." The second Catholic man chirps,
"My son is a bishop. When he walks into a room, people call him Your Grace."
The third Catholic man says, "My son is a cardinal. When he enters a room, everyone bows their head and says, 'Your Eminence.'" The fourth Catholic man says very proudly, "My son is the Pope. When he walks into a room, people call him Your Holiness." Since the lone Catholic woman was sipping her coffee in silence, the 4 men give her a subtle, "Well?" She proudly replies,
"I have a daughter. She's slim, tall, 38-inch double D bust, 24-inch waist, and 34-inch hips. When she walks into a room, everybody says, 'Oh my God!'"
2 unemployed guys are talking. One says,
"I'm going to become a lion tamer."
The other replies,
"That's crazy. You don't know nothing about no lion taming."
"Yes, I do."
"Well, okay, answer me this. When one of those lions comes at you all roaring and biting, what are you gonna do?"
"I'll take that big chair they all carry, and I'll stick it in his face until he backs down."
"Well, what if the lion takes that big paw and hooks the chair with those big claws and throws that chair out of the cage? What do you do then?"
"I'll take that whip they all carry, and I'll whip him until he backs down."
"Well, what if that lion bites that whip with his big teeth and bites it in two? What are you gonna do then?"
"I'll take that gun they all carry and shoot him."
"Well, what if that gun don't work? What will you do then?"
"I'll pick up whatever's at the bottom of the cage, and I'll throw it in his eyes, and I'll run out of the cage."
"Well, what if there ain't nothing at the bottom of the cage? What are you gonna do then?"
"You ain't thinking none too clear. 'Cause if that lion comes at me and he throws the chair out of the cage and he bites the whip in two and my gun don't work, there's going to be something at the bottom of that cage."
A wealthy lawyer was riding in his limousine when he saw 2 women along the roadside eating grass. Curious, he ordered his driver to stop so he could get out to investigate. He asked one of the women, "Why are you eating grass?"
"We don't have any money for food,"
the woman replied.
"We have to eat grass."
"Well then, you can come with me to my house and I'll feed you," said the lawyer. The woman responded,
"But sir, I have a husband and 2 children with me. They're over there, under that tree."
"Bring them along," said the lawyer. Turning to the other woman, he said, "You can come with us too." The second woman, in a pitiful voice, then said,
"But sir, I also have a husband and 3 children with me."
"Bring them as well," the lawyer replied. They all entered the car, which was no easy task, even for a car as large as the limousine. Once underway, one of the women turned to the lawyer and said,
"Sir, you are too kind. Thank you for taking all of us with you."
The lawyer replied, "Glad to do it. You'll really love my place. The grass is almost a foot tall." A lawyer was sitting next to a blonde during a long flight across the Atlantic Ocean. The lawyer soon became bored, so he decided to place a bet with the blonde. He told her that if he could not get one of her questions right, then he would give her $500. However, if the blonde could not answer the lawyer's question correctly, then she would just give him $5. The lawyer asked, "What is the third planet from the sun?" The blonde didn't have a clue, so she handed him $5. The blonde asked,
What goes up a hill with 3 legs, but comes down the hill with 4 legs?
The lawyer looked puzzled, but tried to check for an answer on his laptop. He eventually gave up and handed the $500 to the blonde. When he asked what the answer was, the blonde gave him back $5. A man was driving along a country road when he looked out his window and saw a chicken was running alongside his car. The man checked his speed and saw that he was going 30 miles per hour. He thought, "Am I crazy? Or is this chicken keeping pace with me at 30 miles an hour?" So he sped up to 40 miles an hour. To his surprise, the chicken kept running right next to his car. This can't be right, the man thought. No chicken can run this fast. So he sped up to 50 miles per hour. The chicken amazingly kept pace with his car. The man looked closely at the chicken, and he saw that it had 3 legs. A 3-legged chicken running 50 miles an hour? Am I dreaming? How can this be real? So the man sped up to 60 miles an hour. The chicken also sped up, keeping pace with his car. Then, to the man's astonishment, the chicken passed his car, ran a few yards ahead, then suddenly turned hard left down another road without slowing down. The man hit his brakes and turned down the road to follow the chicken, but the chicken was out of sight. A little way down the road, the man saw a farmer out to get his mail. The man stopped next to the farmer and said, "Hey, did you just see a 3-legged chicken come tearing down this road at 60 miles an hour?" The farmer looked at the man and said,
Yep, I seen him. He was one of mine.
"One of yours?" the man asked incredulously.
Yep,
Said the farmer.
you see, I raised 3-legged chicken. I like to eat the drumstick, my wife likes to eat the drumstick, and now our little boy likes to eat the drumstick. I got tired of us fighting over him and decided to use some selective breeding until I got 3-legged chickens.
"What the heck? That's amazing," said the man. "So how do they taste?"
Well,
said the farmer.
I don't know. I ain't never been able to catch me one.
A husband and wife were traveling by car from Key West to Boston. After almost 15 hours on the road, they're too tired to continue, and they decide to stop for a rest. They stopped at a nice hotel and took a room, but they only planned to sleep for 4 hours and then get back on the road. When they checked out 4 hours later, the desk clerk handed them a bill for $350. The man explodes and demands to know why the charge is so high. He tells the clerk, although it's a nice hotel, the rooms certainly aren't worth $350. When the clerk tells him that $350 is the standard rate, the man insists on speaking to the manager. The manager appears, listens to the man, and then explains that the hotel has an Olympic-sized pool and a huge conference center that was available for the husband and wife to use.
But we didn't use them,
The man complains.
"Well, they are here, and you could have,"
explains the manager. He goes on to explain that they could have taken in one of the shows for which the hotel is famous.
"The best entertainers from New York, Hollywood, and Las Vegas perform here,"
The manager says.
But we didn't go to any of those shows,
Complains the man again.
"Well, we have them, and you could have,"
The manager replies. No matter what facility the manager mentions, the man replies,
But we didn't use it.
The manager is unmoved, and eventually the man gives up and agrees to pay. The man writes a check and gives it to the manager. The manager is surprised when he looks at the check.
"But,"
He says,
"this check is only for $100, sir."
That's right,
says the man.
I charged you $250 for sleeping with my wife.
"But I didn't,"
Exclaims the manager.
Well,
The man replies,
she was here, and you could have.